Thank you for your interest in Lest We Forget, a national digitization project led by Oxford University and the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. This training video will provide an overview of all aspects of running your own First World War Digital Collection Day. More detailed information can be found in Lest We Forget's free-to-download guides and training packs, which can be found on our website at lwf.web.ox.ac.uk. Lest We Forget was launched in October of 2017 at the University of Oxford, following the success of an extremely popular crowdfunding campaign. The project has now partnered with the Commonwealth War Graves Commission thanks to the generous support of the Heritage Lottery Fund. The project aims to digitally capture the stories and objects of the First World War before they are lost to history. As part of this initiative, we train and support local schools, libraries, museums, and organizations from across the country in organizing and running their own First World War Digital Collection Days. At these events, members of the public are invited to bring in any objects or stories they may have relating to the First World War, including photographs, medals, letters, and diaries. These objects will then be digitized and uploaded to a free-to-use Oxford University website, as well as on Europeana's 1914 to 1918 site, where they can be viewed by anyone in the world interested in researching, teaching, or learning about the First World War. The objects and stories gathered at a First World War Digital Collection Day can tell us about far more than battles won or lost. They can tell us new things about how men and women endure violence, chaos, and prolonged separation. How the war was experienced by both soldiers and civilians, parents, women, and children, for example. They can tell us about how war, for some, offered a chance to travel for the first time. How men and women maintained a sense of connection in letters. How the war's hospitals functioned and were experienced. And finally, how the war is currently being commemorated and remembered by individual families across the country. By volunteering with Lest We Forget, you are helping us to ensure that our knowledge and understanding of the First World War is ever expanding. You're also playing a vital role in preserving the First World War's objects and stories for future generations. No matter the size of your First World War Digital Collection Day, it will have 4 stages: welcome, interview, digitization, and upload. Upon entering your Collection Day's venue, members of the public will first be greeted by welcome desk volunteers, who will greet visitors, ask them to register, provide contact information, and sign Lest We Forget's permission form. Next, a volunteer will guide them to an available interview desk, where the story of their object or objects will be told and recorded. After cataloging the objects, the interviewer will then take them to the digitization area, where they will be photographed and therefore digitally preserved. The final stage, uploading, may be done on the Digital Collection Day itself or after the event, depending on your event staff, timing, and venue space. At this stage, photos are edited, paired with their corresponding story, and then uploaded to our Oxford University website via our easy-to-use online system. Stage 1, the welcome desk, the first stop for visitors. At this desk, volunteers will collect basic information. They will also ensure that each visitor signs a permissions form. They will organize and manage the queue, the waiting area, as well as the tea or coffee area, should you like to provide this for your visitors. They can also keep a record of who has arrived and when, in order to ensure that people are not waiting for too long. The permissions form. Welcome Desk staff will also outline the basic elements of the permissions form. In signing the form, the contributor confirms that they personally have the right to share the material they have brought in. They also confirm that they are happy for others to see and reuse the digital version online. The full terms and conditions of both Lest We Forget and Europeana's websites can be found online at lwf.web.ox.ac.uk. A copy of the terms and conditions can also be provided and on hand for Welcome Desk staff to provide to visitors should they request it. Event organizers should also post Lest We Forget's data protection information poster in a visible location at the venue. You might also keep a copy of this for Welcome Desk staff. A copy of this poster can be found on our website. During busy times, Welcome Desk staff might also invite visitors to enter a designated waiting area. Past digital collection days have included exhibitions, replica displays, family history information, and videos, for example. Stage 2 is the interview stage. After registration has taken place and their permission forms signed, Welcome Desk staff then takes each visitor to an interview desk. Interviewer volunteers greet guests and check that the permissions form has been signed. They then record the story of the objects brought in on the story form. Once the story is recorded or transcribed, the interviewer assigns a number to each object that corresponds to the story. At past events, we have used raffle ticket numbers. On the story form, the interviewer is essentially attempting to write down anything related to World War I. The names of people in the story and/or their connection, if any, to the contributor. They're also asked to circle whether this person survived the war. They're asked to include dates of key events and/or places, if known. They're also asked to indicate if they've used additional pages in the writing down of the story. Some visitors may have no personal connection to the objects brought in. They may have been purchased at an antique shop, for example. In these instances, the interviewer may ask why the contributor purchased the item. Where is it kept in their home? And what significance the First World War holds for them personally. Some other members of the public might like to learn more about the objects they have brought in. Your event might include a subject specialist who can be on hand to examine objects and provide new or additional information. The interviewer assigns each object or set of objects a number. A collection of postcards, for example, would be given one number, medals another. One number, or raffle ticket, is kept with the object for cataloging purposes. The other is given to the member of the public for when they reclaim their objects after digitization. The interviewer also records a summary of each object, along with its now assigned ticket number, to the object list. The visitor's name and contact information is also recorded at the top of this list. Once the story has been recorded and numbers assigned, each object is placed with its number in a folder or similar, and then put in a tray or box along with the object list. This tray or box is then taken to the digitization area, Stage 3. Stage 3, digitization, where objects are photographed and therefore digitally preserved. Having recorded the interview and assigned each object its corresponding number, the interviewer then takes the objects and corresponding paperwork to the digitization check-in, check-out desk. At this desk, generally located in front of the photography stations, a volunteer will note again the details of the contributor, the raffle ticket numbers they have been assigned. They will also here note if the contributor needs to pick up their objects at a particular time. They will also note the time to and from the digitization station. Finally, once digitization is complete, they will note here that the contributor has signed for and picked up their items. It is often helpful for the digitization check-in and check-out desk to be divided into two sections: those objects that are waiting to be digitized and those that are ready for pickup. Once the check-in information has been recorded by the check-in, check-out desk, the object is ready for digitization. The digitizers, or photographers, take each object to their assigned station, noting their initial on the object list, as well as which camera they are using. It is vital that the first picture taken of each object includes the raffle ticket number. This will be extremely important for finding images and their corresponding stories later in the process. Once this picture is taken for cataloging purposes, the raffle ticket can then be removed and multiple photographs taken from as many angles as possible of each object. As even the smallest of details can be important to researchers, we recommend taking pictures of objects from as many angles as possible, both front and back of postcards, for example, as well as letters. If there is time, we also recommend photographing all the pages of a diary. If, however, you are pressed for time and at your event there are many visitors, you might consider taking as many photographs as time allows and then offer the visitor an opportunity to visit our website where they can upload any additional First World War objects or images they may have. Once digitization is complete, digitizers return all objects in box with raffle tickets to the check-in, check-out desk. The volunteer assigned to this desk then ensures that all objects have been completed and digitized. They then notify the owner and/or write the raffle ticket numbers on a visible board so the owner can see that their items are ready. The owner then presents the matching raffle ticket and signs the story form to confirm that all of their items have been received. This confirmation of receipt is then recorded on the check-in, check-out list. This stage of the process now complete, the story form can be stapled to the object list. This brings us to the final stage in the process, stage 4, uploading. Lest We Forget generally recommends that this be done after the event, when there is more time. Here, images are edited, cropped, readjusted. Images are then linked to their corresponding story. Once this is complete, they can be uploaded to our online platform. Finally, we then recommend archiving the originals and final versions in a safe place. This brings us to the end of our outlining of the 4 stages of a First World War Digital Collection Day. If you have any questions, please do get in touch with us at this address or via our website. On behalf of Lest We Forget at the University of Oxford and the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, thank you for your interest in running a First World War Digital Collection Day. With your help, we can ensure that the objects and stories of the First World War are preserved for future generations.